What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 42 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my kitchen, and I'm going to wrap up Week 13 in the NFL. What a great week we had. We had a lot of awesome games. So, in case if you missed the action, here's what you missed. We'll start with the Saints beating the Falcons 21-16. Taysom Hill looked pretty good, 232 passing yards, along with 2 touchdowns and 83 rushing yards. Alvin Kamara had himself a game with 88 rushing yards and a touchdown. The Saints' running game was on point. I mean, they just pounded the ball down the Falcons' throat. The Falcons couldn't do anything to stop it. As for Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan, he had 273 yards passing, along with a touchdown. And Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones were the only ones to show up on offense. Julio had about 90 yards receiving, and Calvin Ridley had about 105. The Saints now move to 10-2 and are on a 9-game win streak as the Falcons fall to 4-8. Next was a great game between the Browns and the Titans. The Browns won 41-35. Baker Mayfield looked amazing. He finally looked like that number 1 overall pick. He had 334 yards, and he had 4 passing touchdowns in the first half. Nick Chubb had 80 yards rushing and a touchdown. Ryan Tannehill for the Titans had 389 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. And King Henry, the running back we've all been talking about, he got shut down. He only had 60 yards rushing and a fumble. The Browns move on to 9-3. This is their first winning season in about 13 years. That's insane. I was in 7th grade at the time. I was 12 years old, 13 years old. Man, that's crazy. My cousins and my uncle, they're huge Brown fans, so if they're watching this, I'm really happy for you guys. Go Dog Pound. And the Titans fall to 8-4. Next is a battle between the Lions and the Bears. This was an NFC North showdown. The Lions won 34-30. Matt Stafford balled out, 402 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Adrian Peterson, the old workhorse, getting it done, 2 touchdowns for rushing. Marvin Jones Jr., the Detroit Lions receiver, stepping up for the injured Kenny Golladay, 8 catches, $116, and a touchdown. Mitchell Trubisky, the quarterback for the Bears, finally took his first career loss to the Lions. He had 267 passing yards, a touchdown, but fumbled the game away at the last second. That set up the Lions to score, and the Bears wound up losing. The Lions and Bears are now both 5-7. Next is the Dolphins beating the Bengals 19-17. Tua Tagovailoa had 296 yards passing, along with a passing touchdown. His tight end, Mike Gesicki, South Jersey boy right there. He had 9 catches, 88 yards, and a touchdown. Brandon Allen, the quarterback for the Bengals, had 153 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and one touchdown and an interception. Tyler Boyd, he had 1 catch, 72 yards that went for a touchdown, but him and Xavier Howard were ejected after throwing punches towards each other. The Bengals fall to 2-9-1 as the Dolphins keep rolling at 8-4. Next is the Vikings beating the Jaguars in overtime, 27-24. Kirk Cousins did his thing, 305 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Dalvin Cook, 129 yards rushing. The rookie Justin Jefferson keeps getting better every single week. 9 catches, $121 and a touchdown. And Adam Thielen, the old reliable receiver, 8 catches, 75 yards and a touchdown. Mike Lennon, the quarterback for the Jags, filling in for Gardner Minshew. He had 280 yards passing, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. James Robinson, another rookie sensation, 78 yards on the ground, plus a rushing touchdown. The Vikings are now 6-6 after starting 1-5, and the Jags lost their 11th straight. They're 1-11. Next is the Colts beating the Texans, 26-20. Phillip Rivers looked good, 285 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. T.Y. Hilton coming back from the dead. 8 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. For some reason, T.Y. Hilton always balls out against the Texans. I know he's been having a down year, but what a great game for Hilton. Colts defense had 5 sacks and an interception. Deshaun Watson, 341 yards passing, a rushing touchdown, and an interception. And he's without Will Fuller, his main guy, so he had guys like Kiki Kuti and Chad Hansen catch for over 100 yards receiving. Get Deshaun Watson some help because they did everything they can to ruin that man in that franchise. You know, I can't stand the Texans because they're sort of like a Cowboys rival, but I like Deshaun Watson. Get that man some help. The Colts are now 8-4. The Texans are 4-8. Next is the Raiders, barely squeaking one out against the Jets, 31-28. Derek Carr had 381 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Darren Waller had the best game of his career, 13 catches, 200 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Sam Darnold for the Jets had 186 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, an interception, and fumbled. I don't know what to say about this game. I mean, the Jets came that close to pulling it off, but if you watch the last play where Derek Carr hit Henry Ruggs for like a 50-yard touchdown as seconds expired, it literally looked like the defense blitzed everyone that they could, and they left Henry Ruggs just blow right by the corner for a touchdown. It looked kind of obvious. You know, the Jets really want to tank. They really want to tank for Trevor. And because of that, Greg Williams lost his job as D coordinator. It wasn't really Greg Williams' fault. It goes back to Adam Gase. You got to fire Adam Gase. I've been saying this for months now. So the Raiders are 7-5, and the Jets have lost 12 straight. They're 0-12, have not gotten a win yet this season. Next is the Giants upsetting the Seahawks 17-12. Colt McCoy, 105 yards passing, a touchdown and an interception. Wayne Gallman had 135 yards rushing. Alfred Morris, the former Cowboy and Washington Redskin, had a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. As for Russell Wilson on the Seahawks, 263 yards passing, a touchdown and an interception. He was sacked 5 times. The Giants' defense came after him. They came in hot, and they showed no mercy and no relentlessness. The Giants moved to 5-7, and the Hawks moved to 8-4. Next is the Rams beating the Cardinals in an NFC West showdown, 38-28. Jared Goff had a nice game. He didn't turn the ball over. He threw a touchdown pass. He rushed for a touchdown, and he had 351 yards passing. The running game for the Rams was the difference. They were able to run the ball down the Cardinals' throat. Kyler Murray for the Arizona Cardinals had 173 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, but a pick 6 at a crucial moment. DeAndre Hopkins had 8 catches, 52 yards, and a touchdown, but when he was covered by Jalen Ramsey just locked that man down the entire game. The Cardinals have now lost 3 straight. Are they going to start to panic? Because now they're not that 7th seed anymore in the NFC. That moved to the Vikings after the Cardinals just lost. The Rams moved to 8-4. The Cardinals are now 6-6. Next is the Patriots stomping out the Chargers 45-0. Oh man, what an ugly game. Cam Newton had 69 yards passing. He had a passing touchdown. He had 48 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns. Jared Stidham, they let him play. He had 61 yards passing and a passing touchdown. But the Patriots special teams went off. They had a punt return touchdown and a blocked field goal that led to a touchdown. It got real ugly for the Chargers. I mean, Justin Herbert, he's a rookie sensation, but this was the worst game of his career. He only had 209 yards passing and 2 interceptions. Hopefully, he'll learn from this early in his career and make himself better. The Patriots are now 6-6. The Chargers fall to 3-9. Next is the Packers beating the Eagles 30-16. Carson Wentz is benched for Jalen Hurts, who the Eagles took in the 2nd round. Jalen Hurts came out, had 109 yards passing, a touchdown, and an interception. Aaron Rodgers did his thing, 295 yards passing, and 3 touchdowns. Aaron Jones on the ground had 130 yards rushing and a touchdown as well. Devontae Adams showed up as usual, 10 catches, a $121 and 2 touchdowns. Packers defense, 7 sacks and an interception. The Packers go to 9-3 as the Eagles fall to 3-8-1. Next is the Chiefs beating the Broncos 22-16. Mahomes had 318 and a touchdown. Kelsey had 8 catches for a $136 and a touchdown. Drew Lock for the Broncos had 151 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. Melvin Gordon had a nice game. He had 131 yards rushing, and Tim Patrick, the Broncos receiver, had 2 touchdown catches. As for the Monday night games, the Washington football team upsets the Steelers 23-17. Alex Smith, 296 and a touchdown. His tight end Logan Thomas had 9 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. Big Ben threw for 305 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, but a crucial interception that ended the game. The Steelers were up 14-0 and blew it. They were 11-0, and now their perfect season is ruined. The football team goes to 5-7 as the Steelers fall to 11-1. The next Monday night game is the Bills beating the Niners 34-24. Josh Allen, 375 in the air and 4 touchdowns. Former Cowboy Cole Beasley went off 9 catches, a $130 and a touchdown. As for the 49ers quarterback, Nick Mullen, he had 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And another rookie that I really like who's not getting the recognition he deserves is Brandon Ayuk. 5 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. The Bills fall to 9-3. I mean, they go to 9-3, not fall to 9-3. The Niners fall to 5-7. And next is the Tuesday night game between the Ravens and the Cowboys. The Ravens won 34-17. Lamar Jackson, 107 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and interception. He also had 94 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown. The Ravens almost had 300 yards on the ground. They shredded the Cowboys defense. The Cowboys defense can't stop the run to save their life. As for Andy Dalton, I thought he played pretty well. 285 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper each had a touchdown for the Cowboys. The Cowboys just looked sorry as hell on defense. I mean, they could not stop the run. I thought the offense played pretty well, but you can't really get your offense on the field when the Ravens are averaging like probably 12 yards a carry. It's a shame. So the sorry-ass Cowboys go to 3-9 as the Ravens prevail and go to 7-5. So thank you all for watching and listening to me rant about this past week's games. So just remember to follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, and promote my page. Do whatever you can. Thank you and have a wonderful day.